Good evening, African Superstar family. What's up? It is Gina Ifoe, the one and only African Superstar. How are you guys doing today? Yes, this is a double hitter because I actually went live this morning, but I wanted to have an evening live stream for those of you that can catch this time is better for you. I want to first start out by saying what's up and acknowledging the customers at africansuperstar.com. Much love to you. Also, our members only who are designated by the circle next to their name, and everyone who's been supporting the music project. Now, I do want to put a plug in. Yes, my birthday is coming up next month, June. 26th of June, I have a totally dynamic surprise on my birthday for the channel. So obviously your contributions are going towards the music project and so on and so forth. So please do be generous. When you come in the room, please make sure you like, share, and subscribe. You can also leave me something in the chat room. Anyone with a wrench is a moderator. So please do keep me updated on the like count. This is a subscriber only chat. So you will need to be subscribed to leave comments in the chat room. Today, I want to talk about a topic that I actually touched on my earlier live stream, which is our non-proactive approach makes us complicit. Okay. In as much there's a lot of things and factors and people that we can blame for the situations that we face and a lot of these kind of things, we do hold a lot of responsibility. Okay. We hold a lot of responsibility because we are not proactively addressing the needs of the future. Okay. We are not addressing what is happening modern day that is going to correlate to the future. Okay. What we do is complain about the way things are, and we look at and observe the way things are, but we're not taking strategic steps to change them. And what that means is we are complicit. And what complicit means, for those of you that don't have, you know, decent vocabulary, complicit means that you are integral, you're a part of. Okay. If this was in regards to like the judicial world, you would be like an accomplice. You would be like, a counterpart of the situation. Okay. We know, for instance, that the entities that we are surviving in the West, it's not geared for our edification and growth at all. Most of us, when we've become adults, we've gone through situations, we've come to realize that we were deliberately miseducated. And from that point, my approach is, okay, we got to change course, because the minute that you acquire new knowledge, and this is why so many people don't want new knowledge. People don't want new knowledge because they don't want to be what? Held accountable. Ideally, when you get new knowledge, you have to change your approach to implement the new knowledge. One of the most detrimental things that we are being a part of and witnessing is, for instance, the miseducation of our children. And this is globally. Okay. This is not something that just happens in the West. It's also happening here on the continent. We are letting others educate our kids, which is a mistake from the beginning. Okay. It's a very well-known fact and a well-popularized fact that the children are the future. Do you guys know that song? We are the world. We are the children. We are the ones that make a brighter day. So let's start giving. Okay. Y'all know the song? We understand that the children are the future. Why we don't take a proactive approach towards our children boggles me. Why we realize that we've been miseducated and then we continue to allow our kids to go back into the same exact system and also be miseducated. Do you realize how much valuable time we miss because of this miseducation? Other people are coming out of school, in other nations, namely, prepared for the world, prepared to get it popping. But our youth are squandering and wasting time and going to school for courses they're not interested in, and they have no direction. They don't even know what's going on. Sometimes it might take them 10 or 20 years or 30 years to get an understanding. Guys, we are complicit in that. We have a hand in that. Because ideally, like I said, when we acquire new knowledge, we become aware that this is the case. We should change course. We should say, oh my God, this is what I wish I would have learned. I talk about several things that I believe are ideal for our children to be learning in schools: trades, leadership skills, entrepreneurship, financial literacy. These are all things that all of us could benefit from. Big shout outs to the African Superstar family. If you're here, leave me something in the chat. If you feel that you could have benefited from the things that I just mentioned, let me see a number 1 in the chat. Trades, leadership, entrepreneurship, financial literacy. If you feel like you learned those things in school, that would have been a huge asset to you. That would have been a huge benefit. Let me see a number 1. Big shout outs to Mr. Hillary. I just saw him over at the Arrival, and he's the first in our chat room today. So thank you so much for stopping by. Mr. Hillary would have benefited from those things that I mentioned. I would have benefited from those things that I mentioned. Okay? Why we recognize and identify things that could enhance the quality of our children's lives, and yet we don't implement it, is beyond me. There is a point where we can look at the entities and say, these people are hindering us. These people are messing us up. These people are destabilizing us. But guys, there's a point where that kind of drops off, and then our responsibility picks up. And that's what I want to tell you. Not taking a proactive approach to our children, namely, is a huge mistake. The other thing is not taking a proactive approach towards our continent. I would say within the last 4 or 5 years and through social media, many members of the diaspora have been getting exposed to the continent, okay? They've been getting realistic media. They've been getting vision, the word slipped my mind. Images of the continent. They've been interacting with continental Africans or African migrants. Okay, so now you're kind of getting a picture of the continent. Are you taking a proactive approach to the continent? Because in reality, what we can potentially have on the continent is not even available in the West. It's not even available in the West. Can any of you buy land in America? Huh? Can any of you start a farm in America? Can any of you, live in a Black majority in America? Can any of you be part of a developing nation in America? You see, there are unique assets to this continent, and we are not taking a proactive approach. We're seeing that many members of the diaspora can't even get their bearings together to work effectively with each other here on the continent and or continental Africans. Where's the proactive approach to how we want things to go? We even have kind of a case study from Liberia of what went on and what went wrong, and probably the direction that we should take if we want to be successful. Guys, being proactive is critical. Our people are not good at it, but we can cultivate the skill. Okay, teaching our children, for instance, to make good decisions in the beginning, not be reactive, not deal with life after it happens, not deal with the crisis when it rolls down. No, that is wrong. A lot of people find themselves in situations because they didn't assess the situation in the beginning. They're just rolling with it, go with the flow, and got themselves there. We are not taking a proactive approach, and this makes us responsible. Now, I am going to absolve myself from this here title. Okay, I'm just gonna tell y'all right now because I'm proactive. Okay, I'm taking strategic moves to enhance my future and also the potential future of my descendants. Okay, I'm not sitting back and watching the cycle repeat with me. No, I'm suffering, I'm struggling, I'm going through the cultural differences. I'm doing whatever it takes to create the foundation in my lifetime so that the people that come behind me can springboard. What I'm doing is a proactive approach. I saw how many young Black children, their lives being destroyed, being raised in the West. Absolutely destroyed. The exposure, the education, the media, the community, and lack thereof. Absolutely destroying our children. I refuse to raise children in those settings because I refuse to be complicit in my child's downfall. Some of you guys are having, a lot of disciplinary problems with your kids. You're having, you feel like your child is slipping away from you. Okay. It may have something to do with the community. It may have something to do with the exposure. There's very few avenues for our children to explore in the West. They're kind of given these stereotypical existences and kind of coerced to take one of the paths or whatever. And one of the paths, for instance, that our Black males is given is this like street life, thug life, and criminality, and all this kind of stuff. We understand that men are absolutely critical to the survival of our community. Are we taking a proactive approach towards our men? Guys, we have a hand in this. And you're sitting around, some of you are sitting around and waiting for, what's the evolution say? The big boom. You're just waiting for change to just overnight happen. Hold on, guys. I gotta get the phone on. It's hot, man. Sorry about that. I had to put my fan on. The reality is that the change is with me and you. The future is with me and you. The future is how we raise our kids and how we, influence our children. And even if you're not a parent, you can still be effective. Be a mentor. I told you, I spend time with, youth. I go to schools when I have opportunities. I have a family-friendly platform. I have family-friendly music. Although my new music video, it's got some Black love in it. Nothing too explicit, no nudity or nothing like that. But I'm just making the point. I'm doing proactive things so that I can see fruit in the future. If you are not taking any action, let me just identify those of you that may be complicit or are complicit. If you're not taking strategic actions to address the needs of our people, community, families, and our own future, you are complicit. The most that you got going on, you come here on social media, you watch the videos. Big shout outs, ATM Tim. I see you. What's up, family? If you are in the building, let me see you. It looks like we only got ATM Tim and Mr. Hillary in the chat so far. Proactive approach. Okay? This means you take some consideration into what you need to happen, what you want to happen, how you want your future to look. Do you guys think that I just moved to Ghana because I packed a bag and came here? Huh? Do you think that I started a business because I just registered the domain and then I just put it together? Do you think I moved to the UK by just, again, packing my bags? No. Strategy. Making a decision. Mapping out the blueprint. That's why I have staying power. We have ingested this movie magic kind of mentality that things just happen, a happy ending, and we don't need to necessarily be involved. Let me burst your bubble. We necessarily need to be involved. We necessarily need to be involved in the cultivation of our future, guys. If you are not being involved, okay? If you're not being involved, you're passing the buck and you are complicit. If you have children and your children are currently being miseducated and you're not doing anything to address that, you are being complicit in their future. And the reality is that although some of us have come to the realization, some of us have become conscious, some of us are critical thinkers, and we've looked at the world around us and we've seen experiences, that's what brought us to this. You know, when some people are miseducated, they can't shift out. You know, the influence that they're under is so powerful that they can't even think in a different method. See, that's the danger of being reactive, okay? Letting someone be miseducated and then trying to reform them in the future. How about you take, as Mr. Hillary says, the proactive approach, and you plan and program the youth from the get-go, and then the probability of you getting the end result is way higher because you have strategically poured in the resources that you need to get out. You know, the analogy I can give you is like if you want some macaroni and cheese. What's up, family? Are you guys here? I see we have several people. Let's get the likes up. Is anybody else coming to the chat room or just Mr. Hillary and ATM 10? Okay, Jarena Star's there. What's up, Michelson? I see y'all. Hello, family. Jarena Star, I know she's on it. She's doing things in the UK. She's taking a proactive approach. She's not sitting there, for instance, waiting on someone to address the needs of Black women. She said, okay, I'll do it myself. Proactive approach. That's it. Big shout outs to the Afrikansuperstar. Mr. Hillary says, time waits for no one. Black folks shouldn't be waiting for the big boom to happen and then get prepared. Another prime example, you are in the West, you see all the warning signs. You see that the violence is increasing. You see the cost of living going up. You see the racism is getting, you're seeing all this stuff. Okay? And you're just like, well, I just hope it gets better. It's crazy out here. Let me tell you, take the proactive approach. It could make the difference. Because if you don't, okay, if you're not proactive, the inverse of proactive is reactive, okay? And what reactive means is you react to the circumstances that have now happened because you didn't consider it in the beginning. That's what our people do. That's what our people do. You know, there are a lot of creative things that we can come up with and implement to minister to the needs of our community, but a lot of times people don't want to do that. People just want to be reactive. You know, my attitude is, okay, we see how these people are interacting with us. We see police brutality. Instead of crying and doing protests after another incident has happened, why don't we look to create a solution that addresses the root cause or a proactive approach to that? Why don't we do that? You know, I've already talked about the children. You know, we should absolutely be addressing our kids from the get-go, not after the fact. What's up, family? You know, and so this is what I wanted to talk about, because you see, there are some people that they blame everyone and everything for their circumstances. You know, obviously we know many things that we encounter has been set in motion because of things that have happened and taken place in the past. All right. But everyone is not to blame. Once you start confronting some of these things, okay, you realize what options you got. Okay, you can either be proactive or reactive. You can either be a victim or you can change your course. You can either be, affected by certain things, or you can, decide, no, I'm not going to. You have that ability as an adult. You have that ability. So at that point, you can't keep blaming. Okay, when white people mistreat black people, I can't blame them because they've been doing it for a long time. And we have allowed it and we put up with it and we tolerated it. When they do it, they're going to do it. They're going to do it. What's going to be your response to getting mistreated? What's going to be your response to being minimalized in society? What's going to be your response to, perpetual violence and, the complexity of the environment that your children are in? What's going to be your response to that? Okay? Because they are doing what they've been doing. They're showing what they've been showing. How they interact with it is nothing new. Okay? Profiling's not new. Police brutality is not new. Biases in the judicial system, not new. Systematic racism, not new. Housing discrimination, not new. None of it is new. So at the point that you start encountering these things, the burden of proof is on you because you know what you're going to get. You know what you're going to get. You know what I mean? I know what non-black people are like. Uncouth, violent, ignorant, aggressive, condescending. I know what they're like. So when I interact with them, I'm not surprised by how they move. I decided, I don't need to be interacting with them on a frequent basis because it triggers me. Okay, being in that environment triggers me like it probably does many of you. So I know that being in that environment, this kind of treatment is conducive of that environment. It goes hand in hand. Do we expect these non-black people to be held accountable by their counterparts? No. Have they ever been? No. What are you guys waiting on? A miracle? I mean, what do you think is going to happen? Have you not learned and deduced anything from the people that have gone before us? They also, too, were waiting for justice. They were waiting for reparations. They were waiting for this. They were waiting for that. They were waiting for Jesus to come back. They've been waiting for all the same things that we tentatively may have wanted or been waiting for that never appeared, that never came. So what's your next mode of action? After you realize, okay, this could potentially outlast me. This could potentially outlast my lifetime. How am I going to respond to this? We need to start taking responsibility. I mean, I mentioned it on an earlier live stream. You have all these black people that are involved in this black gender war, for instance, okay? Black men talking about black women need to be held accountable and black women talking about black men need to be accountable. Listen, how about we? Huh? How about we stop shifting the blame and we say, you know what? We all needs to be accountable to the situations that's here. Why don't we go ahead and divide the responsibilities and say, hey, you guys do this. We're going to do this. We're going to address that. You address this. Okay? Because we already know that working as a collective is going to help us solve it. Okay? Individuals have limited realms of influence over, the masses. They do. They cannot accomplish so much stuff, So there are times when collaboration is absolutely necessary. But right now we're wasting time being stupid, engaging in gender wars, rehashing the blame and doing nothing. Right now we're busy being reactive. We're watching, our youth be destroyed in the West and we're just sitting back and rolling the dice and hoping that our kid might turn out to be good. We see them floundering, we see them struggling, and we just, we don't take any strategy to it. What's up, Renee Pryor? I see you in the building. Hello, family. If you're here, if you want to be greeted, I see several of you here. What's up, Melody? She says, I'm coming to the continent to find a second home. That is proactive. Okay? Don't be one of those people that is going to, wait until the last damn minute to try to escape out of the West when you see what's happening. You know, some of y'all now have been talking for years about coming to the continent. I've been on this YouTube for some years now. About 8, 9 years, going on 9. And some of y'all been talking that whole time. Yeah, I'm gonna get my passport. Yeah, I'm gonna go to the continent. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. What are you about to do? You know, I want to remind you that inflation is here. Okay, it's very unlikely that the prices of things is going to decrease. All right, it's in your best interest to try to get your footing as soon as you can, because what you don't want to happen is for you to get priced out of the opportunities here on the continent, potentially. Okay, because the more popular they get and the more people start migrating here, the property value goes up. Okay, the cost of living, the amenities, all that stuff goes up. Big shout out to Renee. I appreciate you for that super chat. Who's gonna match you? Guys, I got a lot of stuff going on in the month of June. I need your support. Plus my birthday. Yeah. So show some love just like Renee has done. I appreciate you. You know, be proactive. I'm so happy, for instance, that when I got the mind to start, you know, finding my way out of the US, that was 2014, 2015. Now in 2022, I'm already here on the continent. You see, I was taking a proactive approach. I already could identify the US is not going to change. I don't like the way that it's going, and I need to figure something out. You know, and even back then, I had challenges. I had just had a divorce. You know, the university I was going to had shut down. I had, you know, issues on the job. I had car problems. You know, I had all that stuff happen before I moved to the UK. But I said, you know what? It's now or never. There's never going to be an ideal, perfect time for me to go. You know, there may always be financial challenges and whatever. You know, that's what we got to realize when we are thinking about addressing our youth. Okay, we don't need to delay to do that. We need to do it right now. Okay, second trivia question. How fast do kids grow? Huh? Second trivia question. How fast do kids grow? In some instances, you know, some of my nephews here in Ghana, listen, if I don't see them for a couple weeks, I mean, they grow like overnight. You know, today he's 13, tomorrow he's 16. And we still haven't poured in necessary skills and direction. Okay, we know in particular that our black men, our young black men are struggling. We need to take extra care towards them. You know, not to say ignoring the girls, but a lot of times the girls, we are more tactical and we are very good at multitasking. And a lot of times we're very ambitious and we drive at our goals, you know, more succinctly. Our boys are very emotional. You know, they may take extra time, especially depending on how chaotic their home environments are. Okay, you taking them under your wing, or you spending time with, you know, maybe your nephew or your grandson, you know, it can make a difference in their life. It could change course, because guess what? If you don't get a hold of them, the streets might. And then once again, that's not the proactive approach. Okay. Once our boys have gone to prison for 10 years and then come out, and then listen, we can do something to address some of these things. And that's what we should be doing. Okay. Proactive approach, because guess what? And I want to put some guilt on you guys, and I want to put some responsibility on you guys. Some of you guys out there are doing stuff, and a lot of you are not. Okay, some of you guys are out there doing stuff, but a lot of you are not. A lot of my viewers are not doing anything besides coming and watching me all the time, and going to watch Dynas, and going to watch Woda Maya, you know, and clicking the like buttons and all that. We appreciate the support that you give us online. We appreciate the fiscal donations you give us. But guys, listen, We've got to take this energy outside of the cyber world and apply it where it is truly, absolutely needed. Okay? Because there's a whole lot of people in the world that's not online. You know, here on the continent, there are parts of the continent that don't have, you know, stable electricity. They don't have Wi-Fi and internet. Data is very expensive. You know, people in the West can enjoy social media a lot more currently than those here on the continent, which means we need street team. We need people on the ground doing the work proactively, you know, saving the young people from going through some of the stuff that we went through. How many of us could have benefited from an Auntie Gina or, you know, Uncle Mr. Hillary or Auntie Jarena Starr that came along and said, you know what, look, these are some alternative options for you. Okay? I also grew up in this country and I went through these things in my lifetime, and my mom went through these things, and my grandmother went through these things. You need to change course. Don't be a victim. Be proactive. These are conversations we need to be having with our youth that will shape their world. You know, big ups to some people that I know, like Ayana. She's a part of our platform. She's currently organizing an exchange student program to bring children from Philadelphia to come to Ghana and see what Africa's really like. Also, big shout outs to my homeboy Edward Shepard down in Miami. He's already done an exchange program with students from Botswana. He brought students from Botswana to Miami Central High School last year, and he's getting ready to take now students from Miami Central to Botswana. That's the kind of stuff that we need to do. We don't need to wait on anybody else to take these initiatives, because nobody else cares about the end result of our community. Okay? They don't want us to do anything beneficial. They don't want us to escalate. They don't want us to capitalize. They don't want us to mobilize and have any cohesion. We understand this. This is just a fact. And as we sit back and do nothing, we are complicit in the failure of our community. We are complicit. I want you to know that. If you're watching me today, if you are not taking strategic action somewhere, somehow in your life, you are complicit. Because what's that saying? Evil is when good men are quiet, or something like that. Huh? You see something happening and you know that it's not right, but you, for one reason or another, you don't want to get involved. You don't want to say anything. You know, you just want it to work itself out. Sorry, if in regards to like the judicial system, let's say you know, let's say that let me get somebody from the chat. What's up, family? If you hear, leave me something. Let me see here. Let's say Renee and I go rob the bank. And Jarena is our getaway girl. Okay, she's driving the car. Now, we all get caught by the police. They're not going to excuse Jarena and say, oh, you know what, Renee and Gina's the ones that rolled up in the bank with the guns, and, you know, they're the ones that got the money. Jarena's going to be an accessory because she was in the getaway car. Some of you guys are the getaway car driver. Okay? You may not directly be contributing to the breakdown of our community or whatever, but you are an accessory if you're not doing anything. And if you find yourself here on YouTube, for instance, and you're interested in the continent and you feel like you're conscious and you feel like you're Pan-African and all this kind of thing, but yet and still you're not taking any action, you're definitely complicit, because with the knowledge has a responsibility. We've been taught that knowledge is power. That's a lie. The application of knowledge is power. Okay, having a lot of book smarts and you don't do nothing with it is useless. Knowing how to build the house and then building the house is two different things. You understand? Just imagine you go to the hairdresser. Big shout outs. Some are an accessory if they heard the conversation. Absolutely. If you are associated or affiliated, you can be a part of it. Just imagine me and Jackie go to the hair salon. You know, y'all know I be at the salon around here in Ghana. And, you know, let me see who else we got in here. Where's the ladies at? Do we have some ladies in the building? Come on. Where y'all at? We got 20 people. I don't see 20 people in the chat. If you can't leave comments, that means you need to subscribe because it's a subscriber-only chat. I need some interaction because I got to call on y'all when I'm giving my analogies. Hello? Come on. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. Can I get some audience, you know, participation in the chat? Let me see who. I need another lady. Where's another lady for my next example? Come on. Oh my God. I just don't know about the state of our people. I can't even get people to cooperate in the chat. I wonder, can we effectively change our community? I mean, simple instructions, something simple to do. People don't want to do it. I don't understand. Do I ask you for much? Do I not take my own time to give this content for free? Honestly, my God. Where are the ladies? So we got 19 men in here. All right. Well, let's imagine Jackie and I, we go to the salon and we get there. We want to get our hair braided. And the lady says, you know what? I went to the beauty school. I watched them braid, but I don't know how to braid. We would be like, what in the world is going on? What kind of hair salon is this? Okay. We don't want anybody who knows the theory of how to braid. We want somebody who can braid and do our hair. You see, and that's the nonsense of what we have been getting ingested. This whole knowledge is power. We have some people that spend, you know, decades in school. They got all these degrees and they have no common sense and they have no application. Okay. They got doctorates and masters and they don't know how to change a tire or cook a meal. You see, with the knowledge comes a responsibility. Those of us that are learning things, we need to be imparting these things where it matters. Okay. And I mean, I talk a lot about the youth. I'm not a parent, but I love the kids and the kids love me too. And I do as much as I can to have a positive influence in the children that I'm associated with. You know, I'm that cool auntie. All my nieces and nephews love Auntie Gina. I don't have not one niece or nephew that doesn't listen to me, that doesn't love me. Thank you. Hello, Debbie. So the thing is, guys, we've got to take it to the next level. You know, I say the same things over and over and over again. I hope you find this message and I hope you feel guilty if you're not doing anything. Okay. Now there's ranges of things to do. You have people like the Afrikansuperstar. You have people like Wodamaya. You have people that are in politics. You have people, you know, there's levels. It doesn't have to be a huge colossal impact that you're making. Even if you just start spending time with your own kids. Something as simple, the last time I was with, oh boy, the rain done started. The last time I was in Northampton, which is my hometown in the UK, I went to go see my hairdresser there named Sarah. Okay. Sarah has my little niece, Elsie, who loves Auntie Gina. Okay. She's such a busybody. She's always doing stuff and going up and down. So I noticed that Sarah was playing nursery rhymes to try to keep Elsie occupied while doing my hair. So I told Sarah, I said, why don't you play tree nursery rhymes? And she said, really? They have tree nursery rhymes? And I pulled them up and we started playing the tree nursery rhymes for my niece. And my niece was hyped. She was dancing. She was excited. She thought it was amazing. She went from watching these white little cartoons, Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, and bingo to hearing the tree version and watching cartoons with all Black children. You see, your impact don't gotta be huge all the time. It just needs to be viable. It just needs to be applicable. But if you are doing nothing, you are complicit in the breakdown of our community. You are complicit in the breakdown of our community. And I hope that this challenges and calls many of you to action, because we need to step up. It's not necessarily our fault where we are, but the future is our choice. Okay, what has been done to us is not necessary. It's not our fault. But the course that we take from here is our responsibility. Changing course is a strategic move. It's an S&P move. Big shout outs to the African Superstar family. What's up, Honeycomb? I see you there. The ladies is now emerged after that last analogy. I see you, family. Big shout out to the African Superstar family. Go ahead and hook it up. Tell the HBCUs to send for the African Superstar. If you guys are educators, you guys are at the university, go ahead and sponsor me to come. I'm ready to talk to the kids. I'm ready to talk to the youth. I did it on my own recognizance when I went back to my hometown. I will be happy to fly to the HBCUs and go speak to the youth. I will be happy to come to your school. I'll be happy. I'm just going to ask for you to sponsor my travel and, love offering, because obviously, I need to be compensated. But I'm ready. I'm ready, I'm ready. If you got the link up, go ahead and hook it up. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready. I'm ready. Because, I was one of them students, and I'm getting ready to wrap up. Big shout out to the African Superstar family. I was one of them students that used to get hyped when we had the keynote speakers. You know what I mean? When we would have successful business people, or, we didn't really have a lot of celebrities. I remember Dr. Cornell West, my alma mater is University of Cincinnati. So we would have, some interesting people come in and talk to the youth. And then obviously the graduate speakers, they would usually get, somebody prominent to come. And I used to listen to those people. It was riveting to me. And I realized that I'm now that person to the next generation. When I went to see the students in Ohio, they were amazed that I had come from Columbus. I went to my presentations in traditional garb. I showed them pictures of my life here in Africa, and they were like, wow, you're from Columbus? They just couldn't believe it. So to see someone coming from the environment that they're coming from, who has a dynamic life, but I have a dynamic life not because of chance, but because of strategy. And that's what they need to understand. Their future is not something in the sky. It's something that is designed. But if they're not prepared to design their life correctly, then they're going to be what? Reactive. Let us take control as the adults and the elders and the gatekeepers of this community. If we care like we say we care, then we need to be in effect. Now, like I said, I absolve myself from here because I'm doing a lot of things to try to see fruit in the future. But I challenge you guys to evaluate yourself and see what you're doing or not doing. And if you have been a lay person up until this moment on this very day, then turn a new leaf tomorrow and start doing something. Start doing something somehow, some way. You ain't got to be the African superstar. You don't have to be Kanye West. You don't have to be anybody. You be yourself. You be effective in the environment that you're in. That's all we need. Because each one teach one. So big shout out to the African Superstar family. I'm so happy. Jackie, I'm happy you came. I'm happy you enjoyed the live. So big shout out to the African Superstar family. So, and again, if you guys are interested in having me come and speak at your event, I I'm a motivational speaker, and rightfully so. You know, I maybe even can do like a little performance. You know, that would be hot. So I go to the HBCU, I give them my little, you know, my little spiel, and then I say, get the DJ, turn the lights off, and then drop the beat, and then they're like, oh my gosh, she's a rapper. Yeah, I do it all. You know what I'm saying? Let's do it. Go ahead and fly me out. I'm trying to go to Spelman. You know what I'm saying? Trying to come to you know, Brown, and you know, trying to do all of that. What's up? I'm down. I'm ready. Now y'all need to catch me before I go on tour, you know. Probably next year I'll be on world tour. I don't know. My music is blowing up. But get me while you can. Big shout out to the African Superstar family. All right, family. Big shout outs also to Renee, who is our super chat donor today. I really appreciate your support, sweetie. I really do. Thank you so much. That's going in the pot. You know, I have a lot of music related projects going on this month. So everybody who's supporting, you are much valued and appreciated. Thank you. You can also shop at Afrikansuperstar.com. Those proceeds also are going to the music project. So don't hesitate to shop there, and that will also be another way. Until we meet again, stay black and true. If you ain't black, just stay true.